Quantum jumping is a powerful process that will allow you to connect with your desired reality and start bringing in the frequency of that reality. This will assist you in actually manifesting that reality with more ease and start drawing it in. And in this video today, I want to share with you a powerful light language guided journey to help you connect with that, with your desired reality, and start bringing in that frequency, really embodying it so you can start creating it in your life. So the way this light language guided journey is going to help you is I'm going to assist you through light language and through my guidance to connect with a different reality, the reality that you would like to connect with, where you're experiencing the life that you want, where you have the things that you want, where you are the kind of person you want to be. And through this guided journey, you will not only connect with that lifetime, but then also bring in, like really embody the frequency of that lifetime, embodying the essence of it, because that will assist you then in really creating that in your life right now, moving forward. And if you're not quite sure about what exactly is quantum jumping, there's a video in the description below where I give you an introduction into quantum jumping. If you want to watch that first, perfectly fine, or you can just go with this experience and just try it out and see how it will help you really connect with the desire that you have, the life that you would like to create in this lifetime. So before we get started with this guided journey, I want to invite you to take a moment to consider, what would you like to draw in? What kind of life would you like to be living? Let's say you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you want to create more success, more abundance, more freedom through the beautiful soul work that you're doing. Or maybe you are, financially a little challenged and you want to create more financial abundance in your life. Or maybe you want to, attract a loving partner, whatever it is. Think of an area that you would like to make an improvement in. What would you like to manifest? Who would you like to be when you have what you want? So here, this is important because that will then help you connect with the right dimension, the right timeline where you're actually experiencing that. So going back to the whole spiritual business and success, what you would then do is you would then intend, as it then guides you through that, you would then intend to connect with a lifetime, a dimension where you're an absolutely highly successful and thriving spiritual teacher, mentor, or an entrepreneur, where you're making X amount of money each and every month and you're experiencing the ease, the flow, the impact, the success that you really desire. Or if you want to have a loving partner, you want to then really set the intention, you want to connect with a lifetime, a dimension where you are actually in a loving partnership, a loving relationship, maybe even, in a relationship with your soulmate. And it is such a beautiful relationship because you want to make sure that you're connecting with a lifetime where you're experiencing a beautiful relationship, because you can be with a soulmate, but it is not a really good relationship, right? So you want to be clear of what kind of lifetime or dimension would you like to connect with. That is the first step. Before you even start this quantum jumping process, you want to know which lifetime, which dimension would you like to connect with, where you in that lifetime are experiencing or living, not just experiencing, like living the life, the experiencing the things that you right now would love to experience. That is key. And here I just want to mention something. If you want to manifest something with more ease, more quickly, then don't go too far out. So let's say money, for example. If you're really struggling financially right now, or just barely getting by, and you want to become a millionaire, that is too far of a stretch, right? So you can still connect with a lifetime where you have financial abundance, but maybe not the millionaire kind of abundance, because that will then take too long for you to reach, right? Because you can't go from, almost broke to a millionaire within a short time. So in order for you to really make the most out of quantum jumping, you want to connect with a lifetime that is a stretch. Yes, it's definitely a stretch. You want to definitely be a lot further than you are right now. But if you're going too far, like I said, from zero to, millionaire, that is going to be too much of a stretch, because it will then take too long for you to then right now in this lifetime to then get there. But if you're connecting with a lifetime where you are experiencing financial abundance or financial freedom, where you don't have to worry about bills and stuff like that, or even just, let's say a spiritual business where you're experiencing the success and whatnot, that is easier to attain than from going from, almost broke to being a millionaire. So just, be careful here. I mean, you can still do it, but just know that it will be a lot harder for you to then start seeing the forward movement in your life right now, because it may be just too big of a stretch. But you can choose whatever lifetime you want, and you can always try different ones. You can maybe start with a lifetime where you are maybe a millionaire, and then maybe you're realizing that may be a little bit too much, so maybe then you pick a different lifetime, a different dimension. That you have absolute freedom to do that. So I just want to mention that. But I hope you by now, as I was talking, you came up with the lifetime that you want to connect with, the dimension you want to connect with, where you're experiencing and living, that other you is living and experiencing the things that you right now would love to experience. Okay? So now that you have that, let's move into this guided journey. If you can please take a deep breath in, breathe in light and love. And then when you breathe out, just let go of anything that doesn't need to be here and just drop into your heart and then close your eyes. And you may call upon your soul and your higher self, your team of guides if you so wish, as I now too call upon the highest and best, most loving guides, archangels, ascended masters, beings of light, the galactic beings that can best support us in this guided journey to assist us with quantum jumping into a reality that we wish to connect with. And we ask for assistance and please activating our ability to quantum jump and to connect with different dimensions. And please assist us in this journey so we can open ourselves up to embodying the essence and the frequency of the life we wish to call forth. And please open us up to connect with our desired dimension where we experience exactly what our heart most desires or something even better. And so it is. Kura naralal alal alen ar astere elar a e urhu ruurar al anar a e uturul an a nere el alal el al el uru ut an a nastera al an ar a e uta nere el ala an ere e turu. Now I wish to invite you to focus upon that dimension, that lifetime you wish to connect with, and allow us to guide you there. Allow us to assist you in entering that dimension. Allow yourself to feel yourself floating, moving towards that lifetime. And you will then notice that shift, and you will notice when you are there. Kust ar at el at et ustar al alan a nara alala hanere et ara alala ale nara nur ustur achta nur ustur hatere elana atere ela aneta ate etu nastara al ala hatere ella nur kutu uta ana nere ella nara ala hatere e. Now, when you notice yourself connected to that dimension, that beautiful lifetime where you, this beautiful soul, lives the life that you desire, that experience the things that you desire. Now, as we channel and assist you with the light codes, allow yourself to see this lifetime, see yourself, that other you in this lifetime in great detail. Experience the day unfolding, doing the things that your other you would be doing that are important to you. Be the fly on the wall. See yourself living that life in as much detail as you can. Kust et al anna an erehet dara ala la elahar eru uru urahata lur ur a nere ela la alahatere ela anna nuru usturu ur atara nere ela la alele elekete ela akata anna nuru uru utu uru kutu una astere ela nastere e nuru ur ahatere ela na astere ela anna nere e turu utu una a. See this life unfolding before your eyes. See it like a movie just playing along. And allow yourself to open yourself up to the frequency, the emotions, the essence of this lifetime. Feel the feelings as you're experiencing this lifetime. Soak it all in. Embody the essence of this lifetime. Soak it all in. Kusht ere tere et ara ala ala hatere et ara are eluru uru ara anara ala anara ara atere ela a nuru uru uturu ura hatere ela anara atara ala ana ahate nuru ura ara ala na ara ala ana ara hatere eturu uturu katana ata nere a e ura ha e uru ust ere ela ara ala na ala hatere e tuka e ka e nukut un ata nara ala hatere ela akete ena katala e turu urastere ela laha e ulu ust ere ara an ara ahatere e uru uturu. Open up your senses. Every fiber of your being, allow yourself to embody, soak in the frequency, feel it within your body. Feel it, soak it in. Kikahanne kita akete na eluru ura nara nere la hale ele nere etara ala hatere ela nara ala nere ela hai uturu nara ala hatere ela nara kate ela nere ai uru ara nere ela ekutu ura hai utara. Now you may notice in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, or deep within your heart, you may feel doubt arising. Fears may make themselves known. We wish to invite you to allow yourself to release and let go of any such fears, doubts, or disconnects that you may feel about having that life in just that way, or even better. Allow yourself to let it go. Release it. Let it go. Keekach net acht et ur an ar al ar a ita al an etu uta nere eta nere el ala hatere elana ara ai ku ura hatere e nere ela hatere e uraha na la nare e turu ane e turu uku uta anna ate e na ne na e turu ku utuku na ate na astere ela nere e turu ur adara ate e tura na ata nuta an ate utukuta nere ela e utu. See these doubts and fears dissolving to nothingness where they came from. Kukuna eka eku utuna nere ela da kata ate uta nere eta ate e tukuku tutu una na aheta an a eturu ur an a. Now that you're free from these doubts and fears, allow yourself to reconnect with the essence of this beautiful life, this beautiful experience, and allow yourself to anchor in the frequency of this lifetime as you see, feel, experience, and embody the essence of this life, where you have all that your heart desires. Anchor in this frequency within your being. Kur ur annat ere hel u a nat e ust achtera araha e uraha tere ela alane lele hela halena nere era hatena te urahastere e nara ala hadere e turu kutu tu ut an at el enate e tuta nere etara ara a e ura a nere ele nekete nakata nus turta nar ast et ur at a an et ust en a na an et ut ane et ur ust ur u ner el a nere et achitu acht en ach et ut u. Now fill your heart and your mind with the essence of this new you, the embodied version of you. Watch yourself in this alternate dimension and then decide this is to be yours. Claim it. See yourself as this new you, embodying the identity of this you who has exactly what you desire. Draw it in. Anchor in this new identity. Embody it on a core and energetic level. Kurahanere la e uranara la hara alara hatere el nar ala la hanere et ara astara ala na kai kuka anekite etara na le e la al el an ara e usturu urahanere elanere tara alena ra eduru kta Nura ala hatere lene kete astere ela hara atere etara ala nere etara ala na tere eta nara hale eturu uka ne eka aka ane ekutu ura na ata ara a nukuku takata na ate ena ate ele. Soak it all in. Increase the feeling as you're anchoring in this frequency within your energetic field and your DNA. Make it yours. Claim it. Embody it. Kushti ai nara sterelana luruhuru kutu urahanara alara alana ara are etara alana nere ela hatere ela atere ela nakata ana nukukuta ana ate etukuta ana atere ela nara la hate la hara ara hanere eturu utara ala atere ela ne he oa e ishtar an et an e nu ura an e. One last time, increase the intensity of the feeling that you're feeling as you're experiencing this life. Increase that intensity one last time and soak it in one last time. Kukanara tere e lara hatere e la ara ala ala kte ena atara ala nere e la ala hanere etara nuru ura hatere e la nere ha e hu ahana ate e ura hanere e la ara a e lura hatere e nuru urukta. Nuru ukana ane ena ana etutu uta ana nuru kudu konachte nuru utana ata nara ate ele nara aishta. And now when you're ready, come back into your body. Bring with you the frequency of this other reality. Anchor back into your being. Ground yourself into the here and now. Anchoring it in. Ku uras tere ella. Nere la ra ara hatere ella na arela. Nara ara hinara atere ella na are hetara ala. Luru urukutana. Nara lara era erura ara ana. Nere ella ra achte. Nara are hatere ella. Nara stere ella na ara a I. Ire hira a hi aki ina. Nere ella ala ana. Nukuka an eta an ata an etu ura. Nara ala. Nuru sterela narare ele nuru uraha tere. Feel your cells within your body shifting, changing, reprogramming. See the connections, the sparks being made, shifting your DNA around, adjusting your DNA, your essence, the essence of who you are to match that frequency that you have just embodied from that alternate dimension, that other reality. Feel it unfolding within your body right now. You may also notice your mindset shifting around. Different connections are being made. You're on an emotional level as well. Different connections are being made. Connecting to that new reality, disconnecting from what you're experiencing right now, your beliefs, your current emotions, your current experiences, reprogramming it, reconnecting it, plugging it into the new frequency that you have just embodied, that you just brought with you from this different dimension, this alternate dimension. Kura astere la nara alala hatere el ana ra ara alala halele lele kte ara ratere la katane kte eluru uru ara hatere nara reheta nara a sturu krakata nakata la kate nakatane turu utaan nara ala al el ur astere e nara a astere el al a an et ud and et a nu un an et a nu un ad et acht et ust en a e ud a nu rast ere el ach ne et hu. Now you may take a deep breath in and anchor in this beautiful activation. Just let it settle for a moment. And when you're ready, you can open up your eyes again and come back into the here and now. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this activation. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know. How did it go for you? Did you experience this other lifetime, this other dimension? Were you able to really soak in the experience? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. While you're at it, if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. But now, this beautiful activation, this beautiful journey, you can actually repeat as often as you like. Because the key here is, and the way you can really make the most out of this particular activation is, you want to be able to hold the frequency. So when you go into that other lifetime, that other dimension, and you're soaking in all that frequency, you're really soaking it in. You want to be able to hold on to that frequency. Now, in your life right now, here, right? In the here and now. If you're noticing that you're no longer holding the frequency or it feels a little spotty, then you want to repeat this process, because in order to make quantum jumping work is you need to be able to hold the frequency in your daily life. If you're noticing that you're not holding the frequency no more, that means you may need to go back and redo this again, reconnect with that lifetime, soak in that frequency again. And that's why I mentioned in the beginning, it may be easier to go with something that's not too far of a stretch, because if it's too far of a stretch, it may be harder for you to hold the frequency. But you want to repeat this again. You can do this daily if you would like, or every other day, or once a week, every other week, or once a month, however long you can hold the frequency. But then also, what you need to do in between is you want to surrender and detach, because what you're doing is you're connecting to it on an energetic level, right? So you're bringing in the frequency, you're bringing in the energy from that lifetime, but then you need to give it time to unfold in your life, right? Because things need to kind of catch up in your reality, right? Your mindset still needs to shift and adjust, your beliefs, your doubts, and then of course you may want to also do some inner healing around any of those doubts that are coming up. So what quantum jumping does, it connects you with the frequency, but then you still have to do the work in the physical, right? You can't just sit back and like, I'm just waiting for things to unfold. You still have to take those soul-inspired actions, but you want to surrender. Surrender your desires, because you're doing what you're meant to be doing. You're connecting to that frequency. You're connecting to that lifetime. You're drawing it in, right? So you have done that job. So you need to then surrender, let it unfold by taking those soul-inspired actions every single day. That will then help you lead you towards that. You can also connect on a more mental level to that future self or that other self of you and think, okay, what would my alternate self, do right now? What is the daily process? What are they doing on a daily basis? How are they responding to certain things that I'm experiencing right now? So you can connect on a mental level to that other you by then responding, reacting, acting, doing things from that kind of place, as that other you, because that's how you then also draw it in the physical world, right? So you're doing the energetic work through quantum jumping, but then you also have to do the physical work. But like I said, in the process, you want to surrender and you want to then detach from the outcome, because you're bringing in the frequency, right? You're connecting with that, you're holding the frequency, but you want to then detach from the outcome, because you're not going to have the exact life that you have in that other lifetime. It will be similar, it will be maybe even better, right? So you want to detach from the outcome, because if you're saying, well, in that other lifetime I had this and that, so I want the exact same thing, you're actually limiting yourself. So it's really just about the frequency, the essence of that lifetime, not the exact things, but the essence of it. That's what you're bringing in, that's what you're creating. That's why surrendering and detaching is so important, and just trusting that it is coming. As long as you take those soul-inspired actions every single day, you're surrendering, you're letting go, you're detaching, but you keep holding on to that frequency, you want to just allow it to unfold. You will start noticing things shifting in your life. First, internally, you may then start looking at things from a different perspective. You may feel about things differently, and then you will start seeing the ripple effect, how it's then rippling out into the physical world, because then you start taking different actions. You may be taking more actions. You may, do different things or start something or whatnot, and then you will see then the results kind of coming in. So, but that's the beautiful process of quantum jumping, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Now, be sure to check out this video here. It's about quantum jumping, the actual what exactly it is, and if you want to get some information about that. But thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.